Today's song is aptly titled The Seventh Sea.
The first sea was choppy, tried to kill me. Crew almost turned me away from the whole ocean blue. I'm a pirate at heart, so yo-ho-hee. I'm still holding out for the seventh sea. The second sea was calm but quite a bore. It looked like all the other seas I'd seen before, but this pirate needs adventure, so yo-ho-hee. I'm still holding out for the seventh sea. The seventh sea, the seventh sea. The first and the second don't do it for me. If we ever sailed back, there would be a mutiny. I'm still holding out for the seventh sea. The third sea had treasure like you never saw. It was ripe for the picking in a sea monster's maw. But I know me limits, so yo-ho-hee. I'm still holding out for the seventh sea. The fourth, fifth, and sixth all bleed into one. I was drunk off me arse on my first mate's rum. But the past is the past, and yo-ho-hee. I'm still holding out for the seventh sea. The seventh sea, the seventh sea. 3, 4, 5, and 6 don't do it for me. If we ever sail back, there would be a mutiny. I'm still holding out for the seventh sea. The seventh is a beaut, I can smell it in her air. Her danger and her mystery keep pulling me there. I've got some fear and doubt, but here we be. And the wind's blowing toward the seventh sea. The seventh sea, the seventh sea. The only sea for the crew and for me. If we ever sail away, there would be a mutiny. We've fallen in love with the seventh sea. We've fallen in love with the seventh
Oh, hello everybody, and welcome back to the ForeverVerse, a tale of explorers jumping from life to life, facing game mechanics that are not their own, and hoping the next adventure will be the one to lead them home. Thanks to Star Pilot 6 and NBC Universal for that little gem. And also, welcome to Mr. Damian Poitier, who has joined our intrepid team. Woo! We are so happy to have you here on this new time slot, which is now our time to celebrate our wonderful and random adventure. So, this purpose of the story, we will find out as we continue our adventure here inside the ForeverVerse. Waiting for them logos.
Actually, these are the room temp ones. Cold ones, cold ones.
No. Wait, don't need a second intro. You got it.
That was awesome! We're gonna just jump right into it and leave other such announcements and things for later or after the show, because I think we have a story to jump into, and a lot of people left hanging from last week when we tied up our World War II Werewolf the Forsaken adventure. And probably there's a lot of questions that people may have. So, let's find out. As the bright light of Kalishima's ascendance continues to fill inside of your mind, as the seconds, hours, years, maybe, pass, in that time you can hear voices, distant, as the sounds of an EKG monitor beeping rapidly with muffled yelling happens in the background, before it eventually flatlines. Hector, when you are ready, there's a note here waiting for you.
You got a note?
Secret
already?
box.
I don't know if I'm ready, guys. I'm gonna give it about 45 minutes.
Yeah, give it some.
Oh, I thought you were going to say hours. 45 hours.
He'll do it in like episode 60 or something like that. As the light diminishes, you can hear the sounds of gulls and the crashing of waves. Hot, wet sand presses against your face and arms as you begin to regain consciousness. Some of what you're feeling is even the sharp prick of something pinching you, only to discover that obstinate crabs are attacking some of your prone form. You all wake up to see that you're on a rocky beach filled with bleach-bone sand and scattered lumber and wreckage all around you. And behind you, there is a tilting wreckage of a 3-masted ship beached inside of the waves. You look down, and all of you are wearing various sailor vestments, with the exception of Hope, who is wearing something far fancier and more akin to the formal court of a 17th century ballroom than something out at sea. All right, wolf pack, if you can even call yourselves that now, what else do you find yourselves on? What else do you find on yourselves?
I'm wearing more like sort of tattered roby rags. Like at first it might look like they've certainly been at sea for a long time, but
Yes.
they're not so much sea raiments as they are almost like a shaman's kind of raiment.
So animal hides potentially, or is it that too much on the nose?
No, just raggedy cloaks, like raggedy sort of.
Right.
Maybe he spent a lot of time in the wild.
Okay, great.
He, the sort of classic druid look. If that's not too on the nose. But,
Got it. Fair enough. And how about you, Hope? What are you wearing? Can you elaborate more on your fancy dress?
Yes. So not only is it 17th century ballroom attire, it's also super sexy. I noticed that my nails have been manicured and my midriff is showing, which I'm not used to, and it looks really banging. There's lots of silks, obviously, like.
Been tattered and rubbed up by the sand and the water, of course.
Yeah,
but if
yeah.
it
A lot
was-
have been pulled away, and I find that there's nothing I can do that portrays me as clumsy. Every motion I have even if it's like tripping, I do it gracefully and
So getting yourself
delicately.
up,
It's almost a dance.
So how about you, Miss Jade?
I am wearing now tattered and dirty, but pretty practical looking clothes. I've got like tan, almost like muslin kind of material pants that are slightly baggy and a little bit tighter towards the calf. Some boots, just like little ankle boots, and a white shirt that's a V-neck in the front with puffier sleeves. One is torn on the side because of what we've just been through. And I've got a satchel over my back that's strewn across my chest.
That's
Just-
amazing that it managed to make itself all the way onto the beach side with you, but you
So-
must have had a death grip.
Well, and it's around my body. It's one of those that's around my body this way. So it wasn't over one shoulder. It's like...
Thank God you didn't sink.
Yeah, no, it's pretty tight around my body and fixed in the back.
Right.
So even if anything's shaken up in there, and currently I'm sure what's in there is incredibly wet and waterlogged, it's still in there shaking around.
Right.
I've got jet black hair that's braided over one shoulder, and no makeup or any fancy jewelry or anything like that, just pretty plain.
How about you, Santiago?
Santiago discovers that he is in old-timey clothing, and it's very nice quality, but it seems very what's the word I'm trying to think of? Practical. It's
Right.
not super opulent or ornate. It's very practical,
Foppish.
but still the quality is really nice.
Yes.
It's very comfortable. There's not too many layers, but it's kind of like one of those old-timey shirts that has like the little, like Plastic Man, but
Right.
to a lesser
With
degree.
some
nice.
knee-high
Little Barney
boots,
Rubble.
maybe.
Say again?
Maybe some knee-high boots.
Absolutely, we got some knee-high bucklers, some boots that are very dashing, and a sword, a
Sword.
gorgeous sword at my hip. And Santiago has a goatee now, very nicely manicured goatee, long curly black hair, and a frilly shirt, but still kind of tight, not too ornate.
Great.
That's what Santiago looks like.
And ironically, there is 5 of you here. Now, you remember at one point that something happened, but when you look to see presumably Winger, because he, even though bad things happened, he made the last jump. But instead of seeing Winger, or Sam, in this case, as you've known him originally, instead you see this man. Nathaniel, would you mind describing yourself, sir?
full beard, longish hair, thick and curly, so long that it actually pulls down a little bit. It would be a fro if it wasn't as long as it is. Dark skin, bracers, good sturdy boots. Obviously a seaman from the north, with the raiment, kind of a tunicky shirt with a little like a lighter muslin underneath, and some just solid.
Any runics?
Yeah, yes. Runics around, probably runic.
What's a runic?
Like
Runes. Yeah.
Like runes on the bracers,
Wow.
and a necklace with a very, very peculiar sigil on it that seems to be of an animal that you don't think you've ever seen before.
Badger.
No, please not a badger.
I'm gonna assume it's not a badger. Maybe, but it's very stylized.
We have a
so-
history with badgers.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, you might know that. So you wake up to see this man standing before you, and simply nothing else. The sound of gulls and the crashing of waves against the rock. You seem to be alone.
Do we recognize each other as our former characters?
Everyone except for Nathaniel.
Okay.
Oh, I'm new here. So,
Yeah. What do you want to do?
I bet you're all wondering why I'm here.
Well, I was about to say, Winger, you've changed.
I'm wondering why I'm here. I'm wondering why I'm talking like this.
Now, what happened to Sam?
We watched
Died.
him pass.
His neck
What?
was slit. His throat was ripped apart, and it is obvious that we have jumped again. And now we are here, with a stranger before us. What is your name, stranger?
You may call me Nathaniel, or, as I'm called here, Fateless.
Fitness?
Fateless, yes.
Paintless.
Fateless.
Fate.
Faithless.
One who is without fate.
We all have our fate.
You would seem.
Finless?
I am without
Is it,
one.
is it finless? Is it fatless?
You're quite close, but not quite on it.
I'm just kidding. Look at my jokes.
From what I can remember, for the transference has wiped some of my memory. Sam is no longer with us.
Yeah, did everybody else know that and I'm the only person that feels left out here?
Starting to recall something.
No, I remember specifically. He died. I saw it. You saw it. You were there.
I held him as his life escaped his body.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Ordinarily, you would return into a new form in this new world. This time, things are different.
So how did you get here? Do you know?
Where did you come from?
I am a part of the greater story, a part of the greater challenge that you face. I have been monitoring what you've been doing.
Are you Jimmy?
Monitoring.
Jimmy?
Are you Jimmy? Are you Jimmy?
I am not.
Okay.
You don't recall what Jimmy is or what is there at that moment, but you do recall coming here and that you are a part of the greater storyline, and that you do know that Sam isn't coming back. But beyond that, you also know why. You also know at least that you came for your own reasons, and that is something that you can talk about. That you do remember.
I've been watching you, and
Well, what do you think?
Please, let him finish.
that will become quite clear later. In any event, the challenges that you face are not what they should be. They have become much graver. And now I am here because I feel I am the only one who can help you face them.
What do you know?
Far less than I should.
So
Seemingly more than we do.
I'm a bit angered. Is it true then maybe perhaps Sam's death was in vain and that was not our mission after all? Did we not solve anything last time?
No, things.
Let me answer that for you.
Thank you.
Did you still not go and get your note?
No.
Okay, now.
Hector!
I I'm already having fun.
Yeah, we were not there when
You and I weren't?
No,
Oh, I thought we watched it.
we were doing the ritual, and they were upstairs.
Oh, then I'm delusional.
Well, we could.
We all felt something.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's right. And where were you?
I was also doing the ritual.
Oh. Well, where was the hidden bat guy? Remember he like turned into a secret shadow bat?
Secret shadow bat. Oh, yeah.
He was like hiding and we couldn't see
He
him.
was
and
upstairs, like
invisible.
flying around by the vat, still trying to find us. Cause remember, and then we kept going
Right,
down the
the
elevator
head
shaft
Nazi
and
guy.
stuff.
The head Nazi.
The head
How many
Nazi,
notes are there?
Who's also the doctor.
Oh, whoops.
Ooh, did you write color on it?
Oh, no.
So sad.
Too sad.
All right.
I wouldn't even hear it. I know that's sad. So, so it seems that first Sam's death was not in vain.
Oh, thank God.
There's a reason that you keep forgetting who you are, and there's a reason that you now are coming to remember. I have come as a guardian, and I cannot recall why I have come into this place, but I have come to help you. I have come to help you and to find out for myself why things are as they have become.
Cool.
That seems exactly like, what we're
More
trying to do as well.
frustration. More riddles.
Well, for now, welcome until we figure out exactly what's going on there.
One thing I do know,
I just flirted with you, excuse me.
I noticed, it's just that there are more pressing matters.
She's new at it.
I am very new at it, I'm not.
I'm certain you have time to refine your skills. I do not think anyone who passes here on out will come back.
Whoa. I mean, was anyone else aware up until this point that if you passed, you'd come back anyway?
Let me answer that question for you.
Cool.
It's a good question. By the way, none of you are safe from this new character's flirting.
I love it. So now I'm thinking, I'm like, oh man, this adds so much more.
Intrigue.
Yeah.
Making me
There
scenes.
was a time when we died, I believe, when we were animals or dogs or something, when we died and came back. So I think that at
That
some
is
point,
right.
deep down, we knew that there was a possibility of us coming back if we did die.
Ah.
Right.
Now something is different. Something has changed.
Dr. Samuel was always not on our side.
Clearly.
Okay. Okay.
But at the beginning, he was at least
Okay.
pretending to be on our side. Dr. Samuel put us here.
Name should mean more to me than it does.
That does ring a bell. That Dr. Samuel.
That's what I just said.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't hear you. I was too busy walking back to my chair.
So now if the doctor's trying to kill us, but if we die, we
Our enemy
really
is
stay
much
dead.
greater than the doctor.
Wow, we better
Greater than the doctor.
very quickly learn a lot about the afterlife.
I thought maybe the doctor was a disguise for something else.
That could be it.
Well, we've seen him in cat form, remember?
Also, you should probably take a look at this. And I reach into my pocket and I pull out a rainbow-colored snake. And I say, remember Kalishima?
Yes, that is.
He's still with us.
No way.
I can hear his thoughts.
Do you like it?
Or no?
Not really.
Okay.
Is that a real snake or is it some sort of a?
It's a real snake.
It's
it
a
doesn't.
real snake. It's kind of like.
It doesn't
wrapping
even look.
around.
It doesn't even really look like when I described it as like rainbow-colored scales. It's because of the sheen of water on it, the way there's reflecting. If you look at it in the right light, it has this kind of rainbow-colored sheen to it. But it just looks like a regular, mid-sized,
Garden snake.
not quite a garden snake, bigger than that.
Okay.
But he would be about the size of like a corn snake.
Corn snake. Perfect.
Is he a little bit terrifying? Is it a little bit?
He has a menacing look, as snakes do,
And he's alive?
and he's alive.
Did you, like, I don't know, do some kind of enchantment or something on him to get him to look like that?
I thought he rose to become what he was supposed to become, and remember he thanked us,
Yeah.
Right?
and now here he is. It's
He was-
almost as if the goodness in him went into the other version, and now we're stuck with the whiny version. That's all I'm hearing. He wants
Well, I
to know
have to be
why we're
honest.
here and where we are, and he's back to his old sneaky self.
I don't ever remember meeting the good version.
Well, you saw him in the sky for like a second.
Right.
He smiled.
Jade, this last one in here's for you.
Well,
I'm probably just gonna put him back in my pocket for right now, and we'll figure that one out later. But just remember, we've got him in the arsenal.
I do have one question. Is he doing well in his other world? Is he the deity he always dreamed of being?
Let me answer that question for you.
Wow, this is
I feel
so
like we should.
weird.
I feel like we should have like a can with a piece of string so that we can tell us on this episode.
I'm gonna go use this moment to get my note.
That's what I did.
Can I tell them that?
Have to start calling each other on the cell phone.
Yeah.
This is the thing about having a thriller mystery.
Yes, I love it.
Of mystery.
It actually thrills me every time you get out of your seat. I'm
So,
like, oh, what's
After
next?
having a short mental back and forth, it appears he was very happy when he ascended to godhood, but when we jumped, he jumped with us. And now he's back as a lesser being and not very happy about it.
Tell him we're sorry.
He doesn't care.
All right. Well,
I told him.
sometimes manners help a little.
But that does sound so tragic to be a god in 1 second and then next to be another servant once again.
Whenever we jump, it is always so jarring and it's always so. I hear something. I hear someone yelling. Do you hear that? Do you hear yelling? Is it just me?
I'm gonna listen real hard.
No.
There's a man yelling right now. You cannot hear it?
No.
I distinctly hear a man yelling, God damn it, he got one. How in the hell is this happening? Where is that GMY?
Let me interject real quick. Timing on this was bad.
Gotcha.
Oh, okay.
But you do hear yelling. You just don't hear that. Instead, you hear a voice from on top of the cliffs that are reaching out to you, and you hear a man, "Oi! Oi! Any alive down there?" And as you watch a man start to descend from the cliffs, you notice that it's a middle-aged man. He seems to be wearing fisherman pants and a long tunic, and with a long coat hastily thrown over his shoulders. "You had quite a night." As he continues to climb off of the rocks onto the beachfront, he goes, "Well, at least y'all don't look worse for wear. Can't say the same for your ship, though." You continue to look back and see as your ship continues to be pushed up with the waves when it slams back into the rocky beach again and again, with the listless tide of the ocean.
So is it sinking? Is it? In
No, it's
pieces?
aground.
Okay, it's just to aground, but
It's just the waves are pushing it so that it like lifts up, but then it slams.
How big
back
is the
into
ship?
place again? It's a three-mast
It's actually
it's a three-mast ship that kind of has the look of like a carrack on it, which is if you'd like to know more about a carrack, I'll tell you.
Yes.
please.
So the carrack is kind of a follow link.
Is it
How do
like
you
a
spell it?
Is it like a hillock?
Carrak. So carrack is like a 3 or 4 masted sailing ship that the Genoese use. So it's kind of a Mediterranean or northwest Europe It looks like kind of the Portuguese and Spanish built a ship.
Okay.
It has a very kind of high back bow, with again either 3 masts with a top sail and a mizzen mast, and it's a big ship. Like, it's not a small ship. It's bigger than a schooner, but it's not as big as like a man o' war or ship of the line, like those giant ones. But it's definitely not. It is definitely a naval ship of significant berth, and it's definitely taking up a large portion of this beach. You know, this tiny little cove.
Here to be the only survivors, huh?
And you are the only 5 that seems to be washed up on this beach, beyond just a lot of wood and flotsam.
Well, surely
So there's
there
no
were
dead bodies or anything like that. Okay.
I'm gonna be in a like very readied position.
Right.
Do we know you?
Oh. I hope not. No, my name's Edward Merrick. Yeah, see, I have a lighthouse right down south here. Not much to do, to be honest. Mostly just fishermen out and about around here. But rarely do we see a huge piece of work like that. I just assumed you had all had problems. I saw the ship at dawn and tried to signal you were coming aground up on the rocks here. But you came around anyways. And I heard the crack in the middle of the night and figured no one made it out. But as soon as first dawn came, I ran down to see if there'd be any survivors at all. Oh no, it looks like you 5 are it.
my instincts kick in, my womanly wiles, and I play with his ear as I
All right.
and I say,
Hello, miss.
"Oh, hello. I don't know how far you can see from your lighthouse, but let's say you can see pretty far. Were there other crew members aboard our ship?"
Right.
Right here, please.
Okay, all right, yeah, I see it. Yeah, no, I just definitely saw seemed to be a full complement of crew. And again, it was twilight when I heard
No,
the
you
ship coming in.
didn't. No, you didn't.
No, I didn't. All right. Okay. I'm assuming you want me to say that there was no one else on the ship. Okay, all right, got it. Well, since you all seem to be a bit toughened up, but not worse for wear, if you want, I could take you into town. I got a cart and horse up at the top here.
What land are we in?
Well, you, my dear, the biggest, fanciest things that's crashed on this shore on this north far of Avalon.
Avalon.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, there ain't no way a godly man like me from the Church of Avalon would leave people such as yourself up in such dire straits. So I do have a cart and horse up here at the top if you want me to take you into town.
While he's saying that, I'm gonna scan everything and make sure that he's on the up and up. He seems like he's on the up and up. But there's
Okay,
no-
yeah, go ahead. That would be a wits plus notice for me. And then how with 7th Sea normally works, it's very similar to what we just did with the storyteller system, but the difference in 7th Sea is that when you roll your dice and form your dice pool like you just did, instead of just counting 7, 8s, and 9s as successes, you will then form all of your dice into groups of 10, and each 10 will be considered a raise. This is for you at home just as much as anyone else. A group of 10 will allow you to activate abilities, consequences. So in this, what I will tell you is that your action, the risk that you're trying to take, normally in this circumstances, we would be providing a risk, and then the action, which is what happens when you succeed, any consequences that might be a byproduct of you taking the risk, and then any opportunities that might arise from you taking a risk. Now, right now, with you just trying to make sure that, as you say, he's on the up and up, at this point, I will just say the consequence, and it's just one consequence, is that he'll be suspicious of you. Intrinsically, and so you can spend 1 raise to get the information you want, and you can spend 1 raise to do it without raising his suspicions.
I have 3 raises.
Oh, well, then I'll tell you what, I will buy that 3rd raise off of you for a hero point. All right, so you get a hero point.
Will you explain what you mean 10 means? Every
10
zero?
Not to equal 10?
Every 10.
Every zero?
No,
on the die?
and not every 0 on the die. If you got like a 3 and a 7 on your die results, that would equal 10. That's a raise.
So I got 8 and a 2, a 10, and a 4 and a 9. So I have 3 raises.
And so the 4 and the 9 also count as a 10?
Yes.
Even
You
though
add
they're
them
over.
together. So the thing is that if you have less than a 10, you won't get that full raise for it. You need to get a full 10. in
So
order
I
to
don't
do it
have
with all
4
your
raises because I
dice.
only have 3 10s.
Right.
I understand.
So I will give you a hero point. This is actually for your character, so I'm going to give you a plastic piece and not the bennies that we normally do. So guys, breaking the fourth wall here a little bit, if you subscribe while in the midst of this episode, we will be getting rerolls. But in this circumstances, they can only reroll 1 dice and not everything, since a raise counts for so much. So
Wow.
rolling a benny, or taking a benny, will allow you to do a reroll. And at the same time, or you know what, this actually would be easier. It counts as an entire raise. If you take a benny, it counts as a raise.
I like that.
All right,
I like
a
that.
full-blown raise if they have so as a
Awesome.
subscription.
I'm getting a raise.
And then then we're going to be talking more about what you guys are doing with your bits as well too. And bits will allow us to do more things, potentially reroll die, potentially give hero points to our players, and also potentially allow me danger points as the GM.
Oh.
All right. So here's your hero point.
I do like the idea of like going to your boss and asking, I think I've worked really hard and I think I deserve a full-blown raise,
Hey.
which is what you call them.
Does that mean like twice as much as you were making before, not like a 10% raise?
No, like
Twice as
Full-blown
much.
raise.
full-blown
Double.
raise.
Exactly, it's a
Not
full-blown.
yeah, cool with your 5%, but I think I deserve a full-blown.
Is that like a
raise.
position shift? Like you're getting paid for the next higher position, but you're not actually doing the work for that position?
I think so. I think
Yeah,
it's the
so what
raise
usually
without
happens?
the title. Yeah, exactly.
That's how it works in the business world, right? Every
Yeah.
position you get double the pay you got
Yeah, that's-
before.
that's what I've heard.
Right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Is there a place to mark down on our sheets where our hero points are?
It should be, and if not, you write one in.
Okay.
So, by the way, my character remembers, or Hal remembers that my character is from Avalon, is a priest of the old gods, and so
Right up
he's
top.
the priests of the old gods and the priests of Avalon roughly get along, but they're very. But
Lay that out for me.
But
Bring
they're,
it all
but
into
they're
the
kind of
space.
suspicious of you. Well, I'm remembering all this in my head.
Okay.
I would stay silent at this point.
Stay
but-
silent instead of saying something directly out to them. That's
Right.
fair. All right. So
So we're good? Or
at this point, he still has. This is what happens when you break the fourth wall. You kind of lose your train of thought a little bit. So coming back into the space, you can see as Merrick kind of comes back. So you'll want to sit here, gather your affairs, or you want me to take you into town?
Do you know the name Duke Palfrey?
Oh, Duke Palfrey. Yeah, it's funny you should say something like that. He's actually the Duke of this whole region here. You see, Mayor over at he's literally the entire ducalships of Wadesbarrow. You know him? He's got a really nice estate down south by Wadesbarrow.
At Wavesbarrow?
Wadesbarrow.
Wavesbarrow. I look at my friends and I want to meet this man. I feel like we must meet this person.
I don't think you're going to be getting an audience with him anytime here soon. He's kind of...
You don't know me very well, do you?
Clearly, I don't know.
But he'd like to.
But I'd like to. I want to give you a private tour of the beaches here. yeah. Anyway,
Please let us gather our affairs for a few moments, pick up our trinkets, and we will accompany
right.
you shortly.
yeah. Now, I will warn you in case you are having thoughts of heading back out to that ship there. I wouldn't advise it. It's not looking very safe out there. There's certainly no way you'll swim. And the waves can be way too turbulent, you know. If you get a skiff or a rowboat or something, at least maybe you can get that far without getting hammered. But the waves, the way that they are up there, you're just going to be slammed against that if you try to climb it.
Should we try to save our ship?
I mean, I would hate to walk away without even looking at it.
Agreed.
is there a skiff or something we could use?
Right, yeah, no. There's definitely one in Merculeon, which is, you know, the small fishing ship vessel. You know, it's, you know, you pass it by here on the way in. It's a little fishing town. But Merculeon might have one if you wish, but there'll definitely be one in Wadesbarrow. Well, you know, if you don't have any money, you might be in a tough bit of luck.
We have our own. Nope.
Oh,
Lighthouse boy, you live by the river, by the sea, and you have no boat.
nope.
He has nowhere to go. Look at him. He's happy.
I'm perfectly fine. I get paid me stipend, being up there making sure the fishing vessels don't crash. I have no reason to go out in the water, except to find, castaways like y'all.
Maybe we should scan the shore and see if there's any.
There must be a small boat around here, something.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you need anything, I'll be over in the lighthouse. You come find me and I'll take your cart into town for you.
Awesome.
Bye, Mary.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Eduardo.
Nice meeting you. It's nice meeting you, lady.
Gracias.
I'll see you all up in the lighthouse. You watch as he climbs the rocks as he continues to go up through his initial pass, and you can hear the cart kind of drive off.
Shall we scan everything we can see here at the shore and see what is useful?
So how far are we from the boat? What's our obstacle in getting to the boat right now?
The obstacle is a beach. So it's basically the ship's been run aground.
Yeah.
And if you look out about halfway into it, you're in a cove.
Okay.
So if you were on either side of the spires of land that
Yeah.
leading into the beach, on the left hand or on the right hand spire leading south of the beachfront is where you can see the lighthouse at. So you kind of crash into a northern cove
Got it.
into there. But then halfway in the cove, the ship's been run aground, and because there's such rocky sheer spikes on either end, because they come up into pretty high spires, there's so much rock and presumably shallow beaches that it just kind of came into the cove, and now it probably cracked into a bunch of rocks and is now just beached across the shore. So you'd have to wade out into the water, probably into like 20 or 30 foot deep waves, and then you'd have to find a way to climb up it, because the whole ship's basically just tilted and sitting on the sandbank, but it's also sitting in fairly deep water. It's a big ship.
Tide coming in or tide going out?
The tide it is coming in and out because it's a cove.
Oh no, what I'm saying is the tide, is it actually going filling up, is it filling up water
Yeah,
or empty?
so the masts are now towards sea, so it's tilted towards sea, and so the ship, the waves are basically pushing the ship up against the sandbar, which is why it's lifting up like that,
Right.
and then it comes back down with each wave.
Right, but I think he means like, is the tide going out? Meaning, is the water level lowering?
Oh, currently?
Right.
Yeah, it's low tide at the moment.
It's
Oh,
low
so-
tide.
It could.
Not gonna
If
get
we-
lower.
If we wait too long, the ship will be gone.
And our characters will risk what if we just try to swim out there to try to get to the ship? Or if we're risking drowning?
You're risking drowning. Yeah, so the risk is when you swim out that you'll potentially take some wounds by swimming. The success will be that you make it. And the opportunity is at this point potentially seeing something on the way there that might be handy to you. But I can
Let's start disrobing, because I'm going in the water.
I'm going for it as well.
The other option as well too is that considering the time level on hand, you could also, as he suggested, head to the local fishing village, see if you can get a skiff or a rowboat to get out there before it becomes high tide as well too.
How long of a journey would it be to go to Mercleon?
Mercleon, it's
Or
about an hour.
Wadesboro?
Wadesboro's much farther. Yeah, Wadesboro's much
Grab
farther.
a piece of, something that's floating, a piece of driftwood, that'll help
Swim
me
out there?
Swim out there.
Okay.
Yeah,
Titanic
I'm
style.
going for it as well.
Okay, so you're all getting ready. So who's all embarking on this risk?
I am, and I'm not disrobing at all. I'm keeping everything on me just as is and just going right in.
Just gotta pull off a couple heavy items.
Right.
Boots, don't need them.
Santiago, Hope, and Hal.
I don't think that's my cup of tea. As far as I'm concerned, I will either get enough money to buy a new ship or stay in Avalon. Also, I don't want to get wet again.
Hal?
I'm an old man. I will wait and see what happens. My healing powers may be needed after this.
Sure.
The hope part of me is very happy to stay on shore with my brother.
Okay. Well, then you three form your pools.
And
Which is,
from a Jade perspective, she's not really understanding why she has this need and this extra courage all of a sudden to go do something dangerous, but she's going for it.
great.
For myself, it depends. I am recalling the world that we live in. Information is pouring in of this place and these lands and my life here and who I am and my family and all of these things are pouring in. If there is a piece of information that is coming into my head, letting me know that there's something very important that is mine on that ship, then I will swim out to it. If not,
It's very much, there's probably information on that ship leading to either what the ship is, because it's your ship. There's a reason it's aground, you know? And there's a reason you're here, and there's a reason you're the only ones alive.
there must be a reason that there's no crew. No crew, no bodies, no nothing.
I know.
There was a full complement.
Yeah, I know almost nothing about sailing, and I know enough to know that this ship did not run on 5 people.
Quite frankly, earlier today I was a werewolf, and now I'm an old wizard by the sea. So that a ship with no crew seems like the most normal thing I've happened to me all day.
All right, well, all of you, they're heading out to the boat. Brawn and athletics are the dice pool that you're forming. The consequences, you will take 2 to... actually, this is even worse. This is a lot. So you're going to take 3 wounds. So you have to spend up to 3 raises.
Grabbing driftwood.
So if you want to get some driftwood.
Yeah.
So
get some driftwood. Little something to help out with the floaty.
Right. So driftwood will give you a bonus die. Okay. Using a skill for the first time will give you a bonus die, and explaining what you're doing with your action with panache will get you a bonus die. But again, this is 3 consequences of wounds
Skill for the first time is a
through
bonus die.
swimming. All right. 1 will be the success of getting there, and then 1 is an opportunity, which I'll describe to you if you choose to spend it. Mostly if you'll get close enough to the boat to see what the name of the boat is.
Okay, and you said brawn plus what?
Brawn plus athletics.
And using skill for the first time is an extra die, and then...
If you give it to me with panache, which is not the stat that I'm looking for. I'm looking for you giving me a sexy way of getting out there.
Okay.
Let's see. Sexy way getting out there.
You got this.
I've got mine. I'm running. I'm just running straight in, and when I get about to knees, I'm gonna do a full-on like beautifully arched mermaid dive straight into the water,
Right.
and just go for it. And I look like I've been swimming for a while, and I'm not hesitant at all.
Great.
I'm ready to go.
Okay.
Pretty sexy.
There's no stuttering.
That's worth a bonus
at all.
die.
There's
Yeah.
no stuttering at all. She's just Nicole's just going for it. I don't know if I've said my name. P.S.
What is
by the
it?
way, guys. I don't know if any of us have.
Nathaniel.
Before you
Nathaniel.
die in the sea, tell me your name, young lady.
Faintless.
Nicole, and I got this.
All right, I'm doing it surfer style. I'm gonna grab a boogie board style piece of wood, run out there, hop out, and just use that as a flotation device and
Paddle it.
cruise on out.
All right, take a die. Take a die for that. And Santiago?
Yeah.
Or who is Santiago now?
I'll go with your name.
I'm gonna do a whole thing. I'm gonna wait for some. I gotta wait for some dice because I didn't bring some. But here's what I'm gonna do.
Oh, here.
I'm gonna turn to my crew and I'm gonna say, "Hello, my name is Alejandro Florin, and it is a pleasure to meet you all." And then I whip my hair back,
Oh, the
and
hair
then I'm gonna
whip.
turn to the side towards the ocean, and I'm just gonna start running.
Yeah.
Sword. Blong.
I'll be there. And then also dive in. But we'll have a moment of slow motion before I head in there.
Moment of slow motion can give you a bonus
Super
dice.
confident. Super confident.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, roll those raises. And if you
Okay.
want, you can have some of these. Although I need them.
So much math.
Here, why don't you take this bag of dice and see if you can get a bunch.
2,
Okay, here's these, and here's one.
13.
Well, you gotta count that up.
Oh, do I add that one though?
Yeah, you
Even though
add
that's
it.
not
Yeah,
a. These
Add
are
everything.
So
You have to add everything, and again, it's broken down in tens. Each 10 is considered a raise.
Right. So I got 2 raises
Right.
on my roll there.
So, and let's get everyone, because whoever has the most raises goes first.
Okay.
I have 5.
Damn.
I did this math correctly. Make sure I do the math
Oh.
correctly.
That looks good.
While they're
Yeah. No, that looks good.
Baywatch, I want to search the. I don't want to ever be out of eyesight from them.
Yeah.
But I want to search the beach for anything that could be useful from the shipwreck.
Comb the beach.
Basically, yeah.
Okay,
Scour
that's
the
fair.
beach, comb the beach.
That would be a notice plus wits for me, if you wish.
What I will be doing is looking for.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, this is in my instinct. I'm just going to look for places to hide, escape routes from the beach onto shore.
Okay.
Or even, additional coves or caverns that we could use to our advantage to hide or stow.
Okay, that won't need a roll. I will let you know. Remind me.
Okay.
Okay.
I got
Wow.
2 raises. for
Two
that.
raises. Well, it'll be separate than what these two are doing.
Yeah, you do that first. Fine.
Yeah.
So would this be a point to either do this, but I think I can only do that once per story, or up here?
Everyone puts self into harm's way to gain knowledge. Yeah, that's definitely.
But it's this one and this one.
I'll tell you what, this will work if you end up suffering wounds
Okay.
and you take that as a consequence. Then hell yeah.
Great. Okay.
Okay.
But this one is only once per adventure, right?
Yeah, when you're investigating something unusual and dangerous, it's the same vote. I mean, I would give it. You could either take one or the other.
Okay.
You would activate one. Either you're curious or you're scholar.
Okay.
All right.
All right, so what were the so?
So you have 5.
Yes.
So you have enough to again three raises to get rid of all the consequences. 1 to just get there and do it without any problem, and 1 to take advantage of the opportunity that is
And
at
also,
hand.
I am foolhardy. That's
Okay.
one of my, and I obviously have brought some of my companions into a perilous situation.
Are you banking for a hero point?
Huh?
Is that what you would get, a hero point for it?
I think that's what it says there.
All right. All jumping into the water there.
That's what the old book says there.
When you were actively advised not to go out there, and then you went out there.
And my friends follow me. That's even better.
All right. Yeah, take a hero point. You 3 are being the heroes right now. All right, take a hero point for it.
I got 2 raises.
2 raises.
So
both of you can spend your raises. So how you want to.
but am I taking 1 damage because I?
You'd have to spend as many as you want. Think of it like a raise is a resource.
Okay.
And you can spend that resource to either negate consequences, to activate special abilities, or get the advantage, or get the what did I call it? The opportunity.
The opportunity. Okay.
So you have 2, so you can spend any combination thereof. You could get there and suffer 2 wounds, only negating one of the consequences, or you could get there, suffer all the consequences, and get the opportunity.
I'm going
Got
to
it.
get there, but only have suffered 1 wound, so I'll spend both of them on the wounds part.
You'd have to spend 1 on getting there, and then 1 on negating one consequence,
okay.
taking 2 wounds.
Okay, sure,
Got it.
I'll do that.
Right. And then how about you?
I am spending 1 to get there for surezies, and trying to figure out if I want to do it by activating my signature item or not. If I want to prevent some wounds by
It's up to you.
activating my signature item or not. Yeah, I don't know that anyone would see this, but just for my own and storytelling knowledge, as I'm swimming through at one point, I feel the earring that's in my my right ear start to feel like it's being pulled by something, so I move my head to the side, which narrowly avoids me conking my head on a piece of driftwood that's coming by, and so I prevent 1 damage because of that.
Great.
That earring, and you look at that, and you see that moment happen. You're like, what just happened right there? So we'll suffer 1 wound,
Okay.
and you're going to be the one to be able to see the ship name. So I will come and tell you what the ship name is, and all of you will make it. All right.
Yay! Nobody died.
No death today.
No death. 1 wound.
It's a lot more permanent than it used to be. Might want to be careful.
So, would you mind describing to me how this happens, especially those of you who... Well, actually, you know what? Screw it. I'll do it for you because I want to do it. So, boogie boarding. Nathaniel, as you basically swim through, you unlock... This body is so powerful and it's got so much strength around it that you're just cruising through the water, and you feel as wood occasionally bumps into you, but the driftwood that you managed to pick up is giving you the leverage and the timing. Say, particularly, you took a little later. You managed to get the wave enough that you are, as it crashes against it, you're at kind of the peak of the backdraft of the wave, that it lifts you up to a point where you're able to grab a hold of the keel. In order to kind of hold on to it, you lose the driftwood underneath you, but you grab a hold of the mainmast, the bow.
Oh, the bow.
Yeah, as you're able to lift yourself up into it.
Now, how far ahead of them am I? Not far
Actually,
enough to
Jade
affect
would have gotten there first,
Okay.
but the problem is that Jade, though managing to get up, she the wave pretty much crashed her into the hull of the ship when she got into it, kind of knocking her silly a little bit, but able to shake off the
Totally fine.
the days.
Totally
She was able to grab a hold of one of the planks and use her footing and climb up it like a rock climber through the various cracks and boughs inside of the wood. And then Santiago, you actually make it through the water without too much issue, but you manage to find a hole in the bottom of the keel, and you are able to go through that hole. But the waves push you in there with such force, you're gonna take a bunch of superficial scratches, bruises, and damage on your way in there. All right, but you're also now in a waterlogged part of the ship under the. Let me get my ship anatomy out because I'm still not 100%.
Ship anatomy.
Cool, man.
anatomy.
Ship anatomy.
What if we had just been like, forget the ship, and we just kept walking? He's like, but my ship anatomy.
But my ship
I
anatomy.
had this whole thing planned out. You guys
man.
just totally walked away, man. It's so
Guys,
uncool.
my ship anatomy.
I really think you guys should go back to the ship saying I'm not saying I am, but I'm saying that.
But didn't build a huge model or anything.
Right.
Just do whatever you want.
It's like
Fine. It's a really
cool.
specific offshoot of Grey's Anatomy. Ship Anatomy. This fall on ABC.
Yeah.
This is like that part in Galaxy Quest where they call the fans to like get the schematics of the ship.
Right.
And
Oh,
they're
I
like
love that.
22422. That's what I'm gonna call if I ever get if I ever meet actual pirates. I'm gonna have to call Ivan. He's got the ship schematics.
Got the ship stuff.
Yeah.
So into what is the... Oh, good. Unfortunately, drive had stopped.
Oh, come on.
We're really excited about the ship's anatomy.
I know.
I'm
Come
really
on,
excited
Drive.
about it
Get
here
your
too.
stuff together.
I'm feeling some
Comes
kind of way
up.
about it conking out on you right now.
The
I want to hear
internet.
some. I want to hear some terminology.
Yeah.
That's what I want to hear.
Right, let's get technical.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and get technical on this, huh?
That is
Right?
the issue of when you rely on technology.
Oh, man.
When
I
you
wanna hear
play
some
your, when you play your
specs.
games.
Well, to stall for time while you're finding that.
I've got a few. Bow, mast,
Stern.
crow's
Stern.
nest,
Starboard.
Those are good.
Yeah, starboard.
Port.
Mm-hmm.
port, hoe,
Oh,
Poop deck.
Poop deck.
Poop deck.
First mate.
deck
Mrs.
swabber,
Mass, you said earlier?
Mrs. Mass.
swabber.
Well, that's a person that does the
Plank.
thing. So.
All right.
Walking.
All right.
Well, the plank's that. That's actually like I heard that's not even like that wasn't a real.
It's the easiest one, guys. It's the hold. All right, the
The
bottom of the hold.
Oh,
Right. My bad. So as you crash
like
through,
the hold with a T.
yeah. So as you basically crash through the hull, you found like essentially what looked like a large, chunk of wood had been splayed in, and wood is carved inwardly, not outwardly. Nothing blew out, but something definitely pierced inside of the bottom of the hull.
He's the only one that knows this, correct?
And what's that? This is all stuff that Santiago would.
Because I'm in the hold. That's
Because
right.
you're now in the bottom of the hold. You're on the top of the foredeck.
Right.
Oh,
moment,
this
all
terminology.
right? You basically had to lift yourself up from the bowsprit, so which is you had up and lay it across the side of it.
Feel a little warm inside. Keep dropping terminology. Keep it
And
going.
you, my dear, would probably be on the quarterdeck towards
Okay.
the back.
Yes.
Right, on the aft.
Cool.
Yes.
And because I took a point of damage, does that mean that I get a hero point?
Yes,
for
you get a hero point for putting yourself
Yeah.
in danger for knowledge.
putting myself in
curiosity.
danger in pursuit of knowledge.
Right?
That's archaeologist, right?
That's scholar.
Oh, I got
Scholar?
that as well.
Oh, I got that as well. I'll take a I guess
All
it
right,
is.
well, fine. Then all our scholars can take hero
I
points.
guess I'm gonna take another one.
Because
Then.
I'm on the shore.
Because you decided not to go
I
up
went down
there.
on the shore. Somebody needed to watch you guys. Like you needed to be rescued.
You did have a good point when you brought up that you're in an old man body, and maybe that
Yeah,
was
it's
not the
not-
smartest.
That would have been you'd have got a lot of hero points.
Because I do not
if
have
you made it.
very good athletics or.
And I am merely a delicate flower, so.
And delicate flower, it's a cove.
Right.
So
Right.
there is definitely overhangs. There's nothing as formal or as nice as a cave, but there's definitely nice overhangs that have been made as part of the water coming in. Since it's low tide, you could potentially walk into some of the water-made caverns that are in this area, but they definitely will fill up once tide comes in.
What I also wanted to know is there a place for like caches to store things?
Oh, I see. Find
if-
it. You want to look around for hidden caches.
I mean, let's say we find a lot of stuff in the ship.
I see.
We want to put it away for a time.
Absolutely.
Okay,
You can absolutely find a hidden spot in this cove if you wanted to hide some particular items.
Okay.
You know, maybe not an entire sea chest,
Okay.
but definitely enough that if you wrapped bundles up, you could stash
Alright,
it.
I'm gonna memorize the cove in case we do need to store a pirate cache somewhere.
Cool.
Did I find anything with my 2 raises?
There's a lot of flotsam, and there's a lot of different. There's a lot of wood pieces. It definitely. The thing that you noticed is that a lot of the stuff that did wash up was a lot of black powder. So you found a lot of wet black powder, bags of wet black powder. And there is definitely vestiges, like you can find clothing, there's boxes. Some are all waterlogged, you could open them if you want, but there's definitely crates that when you crack and peer them open, they have food. They have some of the things that you would expect would be on a ship for a long voyage. And,
Hoping that there could be some money somewhere.
oh, that's
Feeling
fair.
that we'll need that in our travels.
So I'll tell you what, for your 2 raises, you can take 2 wealth points
All right.
that you can contribute as much as you could salvage. Well, no, it's salvage. So your 2 raises you'd have to spend 2 for once. You can take 1 wealth point because it's fucked up.
Yeah.
All right. Wet black powder is pretty much useless.
Right.
And the food stores or stuff, if you were to carry it with you, you could take it back and sell it at one of the smaller towns and probably earn a wealth point worth of stuff. Does that make sense?
Yes. But there's no like coinage from
No coinage, just
clothes
goods.
that I found. There's no secret pocket, perhaps with some hidden coins.
No, nothing quite to that element. In fact, you're surprisingly seeing not very many people. Like there's like I said, there's vestiges, but there's just not, and there's clearly there's clothes enough and supplies enough that it definitely suggests that you had a complement of more than 5 on this ship, but still a surprising lack of bodies.
So, no bodies or
No bodies.
just clothing, no bodies.
Clothing, no bodies.
Maybe they jumped to werewolf land. Never know.
Mystery and intrigue.
I've never seen Ivan do that with his hands. That's weird.
I know.
Wait, that means something.
It's
That
pretty
means something.
compelling.
Right.
Yes.
Pretty compelling.
First thing I want to do is.
You're on the ship now, all 3 of you. But here's the deal. Every round that you're doing stuff, you have to basically spend a raise, anything you do now at this point, to not get knocked off the boat.
Oh, because it's doing the movement.
Because
Okay.
you're moving. Okay?
Okay.
So you have to. So anything you do at this point requires a raise just to stay on the boat.
Okay.
Right.
I would like to investigate, paying attention to the minutest of detail as if I were a crime scene investigator.
Excellent.
I want to make sure my companions are on board and okay.
Okay. All right. Santiago.
Alejandro wants to get to the top of the ship as safely and as quickly as possible.
Alejandro, eh?
So, as kind of part of this, investigation's kind of directly clear. Nathaniel, I don't think really you need to make a risk. You need to kind of tell me a risk you want to take in order to warrant making the die for the raises. So, yeah, telling you if your comments are faced, that can just be as simple as just yelling out and having them call back potentially. Or if you want to go investigate, if you want to go walk down and kind of just walk along the ship, then that's just going to require, some brawn plus athletics again to go through it. And then for investigation, Miss Jade, we're going to be definitely doing scholarship as well as wits.
Not notice, I guess.
No, notice. Notice is better. Notice and wits. Notice and
and
wits.
wits.
And Santiago, you just need to. You're just
to the
making
top.
it to the top. So that would be another brawn plus athletics again.
How long is this? How loud is this surf? I mean, they're gonna be able to hear me.
That's a good point. So let's do. How about this? A little bit of panache.
Right.
Um.
And
Now it does say if I had rank
Just
3 in
panache?
something, I get to re-roll a
Panache.
single die. Is that correct?
Yes.
panache and perform.
Yeah. Form's good.
Panache and perform.
I have a quick rule question.
Yeah.
If your rank is 0 in something,
Can't do it.
you just can't do it. Period.
Just can't do it.
Okay.
More importantly, you just don't get those die. You know, there's no penalty to it. You just don't get those die.
Got it.
2.5
I,
phases.
I have another question. I
All
would
these
like.
questions.
I'm sorry. Well,
It's fine.
actually,
You're
it's part of
fine.
the story.
Yeah.
Can I role play for a minute?
I would love for you to role play.
I just don't. I don't know. Okay,
that-
so just
wait,
it's very.
are
It's
we
very.
role-playing?
It's. I just don't want to interrupt like the action. But I want to see. I want to see if I can fashion a garter and see if I can find a dagger, or even just a sharp thing, because I think my character's feels like she's used to having a weapon on her thigh.
Oh my. Okay. So like a flint.
Yeah, a
or,
flint or something sharp or
Okay.
something that she can sharpen.
yeah. Let
A
me.
piece of glass, even from a rum bottle.
I think that was very easy to do. I think more importantly, why don't you describe to me how you fashion a
Okay.
weapon to put inside of your garter?
Okay. I feel like the best. If there's no weapons, just
There's there's
fashioned already.
flotsam in various degree. So you could describe to me how you would like to make an improvised weapon for your garter.
Then I do. Because I liked it. I smash. I see a bottle of what I presume is rum on and it's empty at this point. I don't care. I smash it against the rock. I find the largest piece that looks like it could be a dagger. The rum bottle, I imagine, was more like jug-like.
Yeah.
And so that piece of ceramic wraps just the right way around my thigh, grasping my thigh like a hardened sailor would. And I use some of the clothing or vestiges that aren't, that seem to be, worse for the wear that no one's going to use, and I rip the threads and fashion my own garter
Great.
around my thigh.
You made your improvised garter knife. So excellent. From a rum bottle.
I would like to find along the shore something that I can fashion into a staff.
Okay, that's
Not
fair.
magical, of course.
Of course.
Lean on for the old
But I think that's easy. You can go around and you might be able to find large pieces of wood that you can break off. The problem with driftwood is that it's not very kind to small items. But you can definitely, I think you'd probably be better off getting off the beach to find something like that. And you three, Nathaniel,
2.5 raises.
2.5 raises.
2 raises.
So you yell out. Or who has the most amount of raises?
I got 3 raises.
You got 3? Then Santiago, you would go first.
Right. So Alejandro just like flexes a little bit, looks around, and sees the exact boards he would have to jump up to
And
get
the ship's
to.
very familiar to you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what I'm doing is I'm heading to the top
Uh-huh.
because my intent is Alejandro is trying to get to his cabin or his space.
His place.
There's his crap that he needs to take with him and grab with him. So
Right.
he's heading there. So that's what he's doing.
So what would happen then in that circumstance is you start to wade yourself through the water, and you can see as, you're basically hip deep inside of this surf as it's sloshing back and forth, and you can hear the creaking of the wood as
Love it.
it moves back and forth, this whole kind of space is just so filled with various little bits and tack and items dangling down. You can see his glass is kind of being held, and it clinks together as you're walking through the hold of the ship.
All right, it's definitely that last part of the Pirates of the Caribbean ride, right before you leave and everything's hanging. That's what's happening. Right now. That's what's happening.
Tell no tale.
We're all familiar.
And you can get closer, and you realize that the area where you normally would be on the second level of the deck still has not as much water, but water inside of it. And you can find the hammock in which you and your comrades, you remember that this is where we slept. I know that this is familiar to me, and you can see and for your second raise as part of this, So 1 raise to walk through it with no problem. This is the second for this opportunity. Is that you do recognize there's a small journal. A
Nice.
leather-bound, like, moleskin
Yeah,
type
right?
of journal that's just kind of bobbing inside of the water.
Special.
And so for the second raise, you can grab that.
Got it. Nice.
You got
My diary.
And then I grab
Oh, it's yours. Is it? Is it his?
his.
Oh, yay!
And then you two. So he has 1 left now. We can get to you two with your raises.
Okay. If you know what you're going, go do right ahead.
Well, I just screamed out. Screamed out.
You can both hear him yell.
And it's just basically, are you okay?
Fine here.
See. Yes.
All right,
Great.
we'll move on.
So now you have 2 raises.
Yeah, so I'd like to use one of mine not to fall over.
Not to fall over.
Yes,
Great.
and the second one, if anything on
Scouring.
this deck looks out of the ordinary, I'm specifically looking for planks that might be like removable planks where there would be a secret compartment underneath
it.
or anything like that.
So as you are dangling on the side of the foredeck, basically holding on with 1 arm as waves crash against the side of the hull, and you're peering over the side of the ship, watching as the water comes back, and as it comes back in, it's just like running itself up against the hull like it does, is you notice that all of the holes, every single puncture hole, the ship is in perfect condition, except for the bottom of the hull, in which there are several major impacts in the side, and wood has been splintered out and busted in, and it looks like everything kind of dumped out through these holes. So the ship is definitely not seaworthy. It has breakages along the water line, but it seems to have been hull damage from running aground against rocks. And that's the biggest thing that you can notice at the moment is that the ship doesn't appear to have suffered any real battle damage, at least as far as what the ship looks, besides some, from what you can tell on the bottom of the ship is that there's no cannonball holes.
Yeah.
It's all, the hull damage seems to have been from hitting rocks or running aground.
Okay, so it's almost like there was some foul play and someone ran it ashore on purpose. One could infer.
One could infer a lot, but the point is that the damage to the ship
Yeah.
was definitely from rocks and running aground.
Great. Okay.
When you said it bursted inward, I was like, wait, is there something in here with us?
That's what I was like. Did
I was
someone
like, wait,
sabotage it?
Why? Is there something in here with us?
So, that being said, that's what you 3 have at the moment. You found yourself a nice little staff. One looked like diamond willow, native to Avalon. Yes, it has a nice little crescent area with it shaped like a diamond that you could. It's very favorable to you. It looks like you could slot a lot of things inside of that thing. Yeah.
I wanted to ask 2 questions. How do you spell Merkleon?
Merkleon.
Merkleon?
Yeah. Merkleon is Merkaleon.
Merkleon.
How close
Okay.
are we to Carleon?
Carleon? So if you're looking at your map, so Carleon is extremely far south, but you can see that the next major city is Wadesboro.
Wendsboro, yes.
Oh, when's
Wadesboro.
So you said we're on the northern shore of
Yes,
Avalon?
you're on the northern shore of Avalon, and you're on at
So
this
we buy the
point.
V.
One more time.
We buy the letter V if you're
Yeah.
looking at the map.
Are we by the big red V?
You're a little farther south than that.
Okay.
Kind of like in that little hook
Yep, they're in that little kind of hook area cove.
cove.
Oh, cool.
And the other thing I wanted to ask is I want to examine, because of my profession, I want to examine my body and do like a full body check to
Oh.
see if I've been
Oh,
bound or just how good I look.
you look great.
Okay.
Oh God. Oh, look at
But
this thing.
have I been attacked or hurt at all, or are there any imperfections that I can
Are there
find?
any imperfections? That would be you can scan your body. You can't scan your face because you don't have a mirror. Oh wait, you do. There's a pocket mirror that just happens to be in one of this newfangled thing that you've learned. You paid a lot of money
does.
to have hidden pockets for this dress, and you have this memory of recalling, holy shit, I paid a fuck ton to a tailor to have I guess, pockets.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
What are these pockets you speak of?
Yeah.
Whoa.
And inside of them, there is a small hand mirror. And upon checking yourself, it doesn't seem to be anything from foul play, but it's also very hard to tell. You've taken a lot of superficial cuts and bruises.
And I have ribbons in my hair and braids. Are they kind of misformed now?
They're misformed now, and I mean, you don't, sweetie, you don't look great. But for not looking so great, you look pretty good.
Yeah. There's no getting away from it.
There's no getting away from it. But there's also no getting away from the fact that you got washed up on the shore, and you probably took a bunch of bumps and bruises on the way in.
Okay.
So if you were of any subject of foul play, whether you were hit over the head or you were tied up or anything like that, it probably would have been covered by the superficial bumps and bruises you would have taken getting up on shore. You're definitely sore.
But you have been clearly exfoliated by the sand.
That's
There
right.
you go. Good point.
So I look at
So it's
myself,
not.
and
Fair.
for every bruise, I'll go, perfect, imperfect, perfect, imperfect. That's how I label myself.
Got it.
There's perfection, and then there's imperfection.
Imperfection.
It's very
I walk up to him and I go,
binary.
The old gods frown upon vanity.
They also wink at it, so.
Great. So our three shipbrokers,
Yes.
breakers,
Yes.
what do we have now? Oh, last opportunity I would like to lay out. Does anyone have any more raises left?
No.
I had one, but I
So-
think I also used it just to not get thrown off of.
We did one for that, one for the journal. You had a third.
You're three.
Yeah.
And the third one I will tell you is that you remember where the captain's quarters are.
Yeah, dude.
El Capitan, let's go.
Right. So, are you just going?
When you say let's, who are you
I
saying?
am addressing, of course, my
No,
compatriots.
but he's down on.
He's down in the deck. You two are still
he
on the
needs to be
outside of the
yelling.
ship. So how would I mean? You're a very creative individual, Santiago. You can tell me how you'd like to inform your fellow friends.
Creative? What do you mean? Like,
Use
throw
your words.
my voice?
Use your words. What are you saying?
Well, with journal in hand, Alejandro figures how long it's going to take to get to his friends. He's just going to yell. He's just
Okay.
going to go ahead and yell.
Okay.
And make a beeline for the captain's quarters.
All right.
Alejandro is then going to say, Nicole, Nathaniel, I'm heading to the captain's quarters. Meet me there.
Great.
Wait. Sorry. Actually, I do have a
This
question.
world.
So Nathaniel is you
Yeah.
when we're Hope and Jade and Santiago. And Faithless, that's the only name that we.
Fateless,
That's here.
right?
Wait, what is it?
Fateless is here.
Fateless.
Wait, did I
Nathaniel's
still get it wrong?
Yeah.
Fate.
What did I say? I said, yeah.
You said
No, no,
faith.
So it's not Faithless.
Fate.
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 F-A-T-E. Fateless.
Fateless. Not faithless.
And did we
Fiction.
ever learn your names, guys, or no?
Not yet.
Not yet. That's what I thought.
Okay, well,
Okay.
no need to get hostile. Just a
All
question.
in
All
good time,
I yell my name to them at their show.
right.
So,
Sure, we'll hear it over the
so
way.
you two remember captain's quarters, and you recall to it Jade as remind me your beta character's name.
Nicole.
Nicole is starting to recall. Oh shit. Because you've been looking up the side. You look down there. The captain's quarter is in the deepest part of where the water line is right now, tilted and
Okay.
listed. So you know, as he's heading for the captain's quarter, that is one where one of the biggest holes is at, and two, that's where the water line is the highest in the ship.
Okay.
You know, so there is,
Back to the sea.
yeah.
Can I shout back at him, or will that require?
Yeah, no, you can shout back. Unless you guys are doing something risky, it does not require a risk.
Got it.
Okay? So, go ahead. Communicate.
I'm gonna shout back. That area is really dangerous right now. Are you sure you got this?
Yes, of course.
All right.
I don't know if that sounds like Santiago or if what is. So you get there to the water line, and you can see that as you get closer and closer to where the captain's quarter is, the water line is getting higher and higher to the point of where, and even to get to the door, you would have to dive under. So this would be a risk. One, to succeed. Two, to not suffer more wounds from water damage. Or at least one, to get to the door. All right. And then the third will be potentially an opportunity where you can where you can find a discarded weapon that also seems to be floating inside of the water as well, close to the captain's quarters.
Is brawn and athletics again for that swim?
Swimming. Yeah, brawn and athletics.
Get it.
Boom. Okay, so that is 18,
Whoa, dude.
31. Let me. Yeah.
How many raises?
I have 3. Like, can I reroll 1? Because I have a rank of 3 in athletics.
Then you can re-roll 1. Re-roll a single die.
All right, still a 3.
Okay,
That's where I'm at.
great. So how would you like to spend your raises?
1 to not die, please.
1 to get to the door, or it's 2 to not take a wound?
Let's do 2 to take a wound, and then it was 1 to find a weapon.
So you have 2 raises
Yeah.
to negate both wounds. You have 1 to get to the door, and then 1 to grab the opportunity, which is the weapon.
So you only have 3.
All right, I'll do everything and take the 1 wound.
Take the 1 wound.
Yep.
Take the 1 wound. So as you're swimming through the water, and you can see, and you occasionally feel as the waves push you through, and you get closer to the door, you get to the door and grab it and rattle it, and it seems to be locked. And as you're rattling it, you suddenly look as a wave pushes up, and you see a flintlock pistol. Yoink.
Cool.
Into your vest, as you probably will have to come as you dive back, as you're fussing with the door enough to where you start to lose a little bit of your breath. You're like, okay, fuck it, and I'm gonna go back, and then you come back to the air gasping to find both
Nice.
Nathaniel and Jade waiting for you at close to where your first dive point was.
Weightless.
What happened?
Nicole, the door's locked. The captain's cabins, the captain's quarters are unattainable.
I got this. I'm going in.
Okay. You know what to do. How about you, Fateless?
I'm gonna look around the rest of the area. You know,
Okay.
see if there's anything.
Scout around.
Cabin boys. Oh, cabin boy being in with the captain.
Not close to the captain.
Right.
So
I'm gonna just look around the rest of the area. You have eyes on Nicole,
I have eyes on Nicole.
right? All right. I will check out the rest of the area, make sure there's nothing of any interest or need.
okay. Great.
Okay.
So what is that? That's notice.
You wouldn't even need it. You're just looking around. You're not doing anything risky.
Right. Okay.
You're just looking around. Unless you're diving underwater to get somewhere riskier, you know?
Is there somewhere riskier? I feel like.
Well, you can go down to a lower deck of the hold. Because right now you're
Let's get in. Let's get in this a little bit. You know. What
Okay.
I mean? We're in here.
diving
Let's-
deeper. Greater risk, greater reward.
Exactly.
It's the same boat as what he did. Potentially 2 consequences that you'd have to negate with raises, a 3rd to succeed, and 4th to find an opportunity.
Okay. So.
All right.
How many? What are we using here? Brawn and
Yeah,
athletics?
brawn athletics. You know what swim is.
Yep.
So
Yep.
So I got 2,
okay,
and I would like to spend 1 to get to the door.
okay.
I'm re-rolling 1 because of 3 in athletics.
You can spend, and then first of all, how would you mind telling me your approach?
Oh, sure.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm assuming this is a small hole to go down in there that we're diving into the water to get to. So I'm going to, take a step right off the edge and just pencil it right in.
Yeah.
Feet first. Go right down in and do everything I can just to get to the door.
Right.
I will, I assume, since I'm not spending any, well, I guess I'll spend 1 raise on dodging stuff that's in the way.
Right.
So that I only take 1 point of damage
All right.
from being knocked around while I'm down there. But when I get to the door, I would love to spend a hero point to use my advantage got it, which which picks any lock, cracks a safe, or disarms a trap just by spending that hero point. And
That's
I
a
would
good
love to
one.
pick that lock.
That's a good one.
Why don't you paint this picture for me of how you got it?
Cool. So I'm underwater, like full on big breath cheeks.
Great.
Under there.
Yeah.
I do the same thing that Alejandro did and jiggle the door, realize it's locked, and I'm going to pull out a dagger from my boot,
Great.
wedge it in between where the door lock is, hold it, and just start using my fist to like pound in just with sheer determination. It's not brawn because
Right.
when you look at Nicole, she's pretty lanky.
Yeah.
Like you can see muscle definition, but she's not a beefy chick.
Yeah.
And just it's complete
So as you slam,
force of will.
this dagger in, palm in onto it over and over again, you feel as it wedges into right where the lock is, right where the door lock is, and you can feel as wood is splintering, and you basically are pushing a hole big enough for the slide to basically be negated.
Yeah.
And the door flums in from the inside, and you feel a whelming kind of backdraft of water.
Yeah.
As you flood yourself kind of into the captain's quarters.
Yep.
And you can see the bottom of the ship, the window line that's leading out into the aft of the ship. And you can see the sandy bottom of the water line as it's kind of just as it just kind of is like sand is right all below you, and you can see an occasional rock and, you know, even a shark as it swims by the side of the...
Scary shark or not scary shark? Or I don't know enough about marine biology to know.
It's a shark,
Okay.
you know, as it swims by the side of the window, and you can see the furniture of the captain's quarter is sparse because the what you now see is the largest hole, which is in the bottom of where the ship's captain is. You can see a giant, almost like explosion, seem to have come up from the bottom, right under where the captain's chair should and supposed to be.
Okay.
And you can see various paper and other things that are kind of just floating around, and there are trophies and trinkets. But this room is extremely familiar to you, and you are starting to recall. You can see the captain's face, but you can't recall his name. You know,
Okay.
he was a brown bearded gentleman
Got
who
it.
kind of has a mustache that attaches to chops
Awesome.
and long tousled brown hair, and wore a classic like tricorn cap, and he was kind of a wild type. You know, he had a good hold on his crew, but he wasn't. He was a silly but fair and just kind of captain, and he
had
took
glasses?
risks for no reasons other than just to see what the hell would happen.
Okay. My kind of dude. That's pretty
That's how
cool.
we got here, eh?
Do I recall in that room there being any kind of safe or treasure chest or...
Boom.
Yes, you don't, and you can't see anything quite like that. So, and I'll actually just go. I'll make an on-the-fly decision.
Yeah.
Okay. However, you don't recall a safe or anything like that, someplace to store hidden objects, but you do see that what was probably once covered by a painting has now been ripped off, and you do see the open hinges of a secret compartment that has
yeah.
been opened and is empty.
Oh!
Ah. He giveth and he taketh away.
Damn it!
Oh, Ivan.
Okay, and you still... Go ahead.
Right. I've got 3 races, and let's see. So I'll take 1 damage to take the opportunity.
Take the opportunity. Take 1 damage, take the opportunity, and do the success.
Yes.
Okay. So for you, sir, you continue to...
Lower holds.
Excuse me?
Lower holds, right?
Yeah, so you're diving through to the bottom hold of the ship, and you are noticing that there is again a lot of various items, clothes. There is a weapon. You see another pistol that just seems to be floating through the water, and several swords. I need to put that on repeat is what I need to do.
Oh, that's you, Ivan?
Now we're in a meadow. Back to us.
I'll if I can nab a few of those, I will.
You easily can. So you can easily get yourself a couple of swords.
Perfect.
You know,
Yep.
and I'm actually, you can either take 2 swords or the flintlock pistol, either one.
Swords.
Both swords. Okay. You managed to grab 2 cutlasses with standard kind of, I forgot the term for it, but hand guards.
Oh, right.
You know, very classic. They definitely, they don't seem to be worse for wear than the fact that they're waterlogged and wet. But you grab them as you bring them back up to the top. And that's about as much as you can get.
Okay.
So, Santiago Jade?
Go ahead,
She
Santiago.
pops back up. After, I'm assuming you're peering through this, you're definitely out of breath.
So am I like
Okay.
where am I? Where's Alejandro right now?
Alejandro is sitting at the top of the water, right below the captain's ship. So the hole that she penciled it dived into, you're kind of at the top waiting for Jade to resurface, and some time has passed.
So I'm gonna say something real clevery and piratey. Oh, good. I thought you were dead. Good to see you, Nicole. What did you find?
A whole lot of nothing. I found an empty safe in the captain's quarters. Gosh, so frustrating. I mean, I'm tempted to go back down there again. I just don't know how long I can hold my breath for.
You can do another round. The door's open. So
But it would be swimming, not investigation, right?
he's swimming to get through there. I mean, you could. The thing is, you could do I mean, you tell me your approach to how you'd like to handle this risk.
Yeah, I mean, my approach is that I would love to just get in there and as much as I can, being that it's waterlogged, try to investigate that room.
Okay.
Not necessarily for hidden compartments anymore because we already found that, but for anything that could still be salvageable in there at this point.
Okay, great. Then, how would you like to? So for that approach, it is investigation.
So yeah, I would use notice.
So
and
you'd use
wits.
notice and wits, less brawn. You still have to spend time for it. And then Alejandro.
You
Are
know
you
what?
down
Go,
with her?
Nicole, go ahead and try it one more time. I'll be here.
Thanks.
When I come back up, I'm going to
Makes me feel real safe.
give Alejandro the swords.
Okay.
And I actually want to do the same, go back down, because
They're okay. Yeah.
I didn't really... Do I recall noticing if the cargo was anything unusual? Or if there were any signs of a cargo that might have been unusual, or it just all seemed standard stuff?
No. Most of it was supplies, food, medicine, and things that are like I described to the gentleman on the beach. Even though you wouldn't know this, a lot of the stuff that is in here seems to just be for a long voyage. But that's the only thing that's interesting.
Right.
Is that there's a lot of it.
Right. So
You know,
this is obviously
not only is there a lot of it, just simply more than the 5 of you would need, but you being a seaman who has understood this, who knows kind of how rations and stuff are done. This is this is a 5-month round trip voyage stock that is inside of the ship. Like there is just boxes laid up everywhere.
Right.
And what is in here normally just a normal merchant trade with a restock is 3 months.
Right. So this was...
This is a normal than longer voyage. And
much
the
is
interesting
left?
thing is not much. You know, maybe a month of extra stores left. So that's about as much as you can garner from looking around, checking the different parts of the ship in storage.
Right.
Right?
I need to go do another round. When I
Oh.
if she's still not back, I'm gonna go do another round. So that's
We're spending time getting to know each other.
That's fair.
Brown chicken breast.
Yeah, and if there's anything you would like to feel free to interject while these 3 play frickin' Scooby-Doo on the side of the ship. So,
By the way, I know you're my sister. And lucky for me, I have such an old frail body that your new seductive form has no power over me.
Don't worry, Hal. Or what do I call you in this form?
My name in this world is Milton Royston. I'm a priest of the old gods of Avalon.
Okay, but look,
What is your name, by the way?
I'm remembering that my name is it is Stella Montecarsi.
Stella Montecarsi.
Stella Montecarsi. And all weirdness aside, I look fucking great, right?
Yes, absolutely. The other half of me, the young man inside is very confused because the young man inside is your brother. But let us just move on to other subjects.
No, I know, but I have a feeling that I can probably get whatever I want in this world.
I would suspect that you would probably be right.
I hope they come back soon and There's this strange draw for me to the Duke Palfrey.
Yes, I heard you mention him earlier. I have no knowledge of this man.
He is, he has,
Only name only.
he's a symbol of independence for the entire Avalon region.
Yes.
He stands for the people. Now he's
Right.
not a king, and the queen
Queen. Yes.
actually likes him quite a bit.
Do you
But I
think
feel
there's some other-
like I'm looking for advice from
There's
him.
something underneath there that maybe some sort of political intrigue, perhaps?
Definitely that, and also I really want to meet this man. I think he's got some advice for me, or
All right, well.
he could have malintentions, but there's a part of me that really believes in him.
You have to pursue that.
So going back to our ship, let's, awesome. Good exposition. And back to our ship, you have 5 raises.
Sure do.
Nicole. All right.
Yeah.
So,
to investigate this captain's quarters.
So you manage to get a big breath of air in, dive back down, and you start diving through, and you can see a couple of pieces of information, and I will write them down for you.
Sweet.
So you can choose to have or use as much as you wish. In fact, instead of just listening to Hal and Hope, that probably would have been a good use of my time.
Well,
was
we were
pretty
so
riveting.
compelling.
You were
How
great.
could you do anything else?
I could
That's
have.
awesome.
All that sibling love.
This is just like
Touch of
Star
weirdness,
Wars.
Make it intriguing.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
But you would know.
I saw the first
got
season.
that far,
That
yeah,
was
yeah,
episode
yeah.
1.
Yeah, well.
What?
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah, that's true.
No, guys.
Too old for that.
No.
Are you though?
I could
Summon some magic, perhaps.
I'm just saying, if you watch Game of Thrones, too old is a
It's true. It's
There
true.
were some guys that were.
I'm not too old for Game of Thrones. I'm saying my character's
No,
too
what,
old.
what,
Yeah,
no, what,
but-
Do a Game
No.
of Thrones, brother.
what I'm saying is, have you watched Game of Thrones?
all of it.
Right. So you remember the Grandmaster was.
Oh, that's true.
That's what I'm saying. How
And,
old,
and
how
the
old are you?
necklace
you have to
of
be?
that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So how old are you?
Spoilers. No spoilers.
Is that-
Well, I didn't mention too
That was vague.
I
nothing
know,
from
but
that.
I think we were
You know,
tap
anybody who
dancing.
hasn't,
Yeah,
anybody
get
who
on
hasn't
it.
caught up at this point,
Ooh, no.
you know, I'm just saying though, it's been,
Yeah.
you know, a long time.
Yeah, I
sure
know.
it's a
Don't
priority or it's
spoil
not?
I
that.
didn't spoil anything, but I'm saying you should be caught up by this point.
Yeah.
There's
you
99%.
had any intention-
And also judgment upon you if you have.
Shame! That's not a spoiler, is it?
That's the voice I've been waiting to hear all night.
Darth Vader's Luke's father.
What?
Sorry, I don't mean to be.
Dude, why would you?
I know. I'm
That is
sorry.
so messed up. Why-
I love spoiling.
You didn't
things.
even ask.
I love
You didn't even
spoiling
ask
things.
if I had watched it yet.
Oh, have you
Oh
watched?
my god, it makes so much sense now though.
Now the
That's why
prequel
he
You
was
called it, didn't you? You
Yeah.
called it.
I was leaning towards it, but I was like, you know, did I dare to hope that there would be such, you know, a compelling
All right,
narrative format?
Jade.
Okay.
Nicole Jade. Here is what you managed to learn as you come back gasping for air after spending as long as you can potentially hold your breath
Okay.
into the sea waves.
So it's too late to do any of that, right?
Yeah.
You two, 3, and this was to continue to.
Just to take another peek easy, make sure I didn't miss anything.
Right. There isn't too much more. A lot of the other stuff has fallen out,
Right.
has wished to shore. You do manage to find the amount of looping around. You realize that you are extremely familiar with this ship.
Okay.
And at one point, you have the recollection of, holy crap, I'm the frickin' first mate.
Oh! What's
Yeah.
pertinent information. Do I remember where we were going?
Well, no. But there may be something that might jot your memory here pretty soon.
All right, I'm gonna keep.
But you're the first mate, and you had a crew. You had a crew, and they're all gone.
So there were people. And
There
now
were
are not.
people. You absolutely recall, because you are going through, and as you're investigating, you're realizing that this ship has hammocks and complements for a full crew.
Okay.
To do a 3-mast cassock ship like this.
Right.
There is definitely, and you do recall there being fighting on the ship.
Okay.
You don't know how, where, what, or why, but you do remember fire. You remember flames, and you do recall fighting.
Do I see fire damage?
No. No. Not on this, not in the inner hold of the deck, no.
Right.
That's
When
a
I
good-
return to the surface, I will check and see
Okay.
if I
That's
see
a good episode title: Fire, Flames, and Fighting.
Fire, flames, and fighting.
Fire, flames, and fighting.
Is that the name of this episode of 7th Sea?
It can be. I was just calling it the Beaches of Avalon, but
That makes more sense because there isn't fire.
Yeah,
so
there's
I have a
Yeah.
feeling.
Not really doing much
Chill.
fire
I have a
flames.
feeling at some point there will be fire, flames, and fighting.
fire,
in our
flames, and
present-
fighting.
But this is not
Beaches
that
of Avalon.
It's
episode.
not at this point.
There will be an episode entitled that. I am certain.
We're more in the Avalonian Covey type.
But that sounds like a good song title.
Right. Okay.
There you go. So you do come back up, and it's kind of coming together to you now. You're seeing flashes of like nighttime fighting and pillars of flame as they come up, like almost like black powder explosions. Thoosh, thoosh.
Perhaps we were attacked or we were attacking.
And you do recall there being infighting and
Infighting?
not infighting. You just remember there being fighting on the ship.
Okay.
You know, and something happening.
Was there another ship? So there had to have
You
been
don't
another
recall seeing another ship, but you
Not
don't
another ship,
recall
fighting on the-
seeing. The memories that are coming back to you are in the hold of the ship, not topside.
Right. Okay.
Right?
So there was fighting in the hold.
There was fighting in the hold. You recall there being fighting in the hold, and now that you're recalling that, you're starting to see that there are several chinks in the wood that seem from various weaponry and small bullet holes where there seems to have been small arms fire
Whoa.
inside of there.
Okay.
Jade,
So it wasn't.
Nicole, you come back up. Yeah. And Alejandro is there waiting for you again. Yes.
Welcome to the land of the living.
Yeah, thanks for keeping watch.
It was my pleasure, Nicole.
I'm gonna pull myself out of the hole and say, like out of the water, and say, well, shall we back to the beach?
Sounds good to me.
We've
Don't look at me.
gathered everything we can gather. I've recalled some details that will be quite interesting to the entire complement.
Yeah, me too.
And I just found some literature. I'm referring to that journal I found. It will prove to be very revealing, hopefully.
So as you head back to the beach, it will be easier to swim back to the beach versus going against the waves. So in this case, it's just a single consequence, a single opportunity, and a single win for your athletics and brawn. You know, just to swim back.
Can I have re-braided the ribbons in my hair?
Absolutely. Mitigate some of that damage that was done to your hair.
At least, yeah. At least for my hair.
In fact, I'd like you to describe what you two are doing when they stumble back out from the beach, if you don't mind.
That's right. There's only one putting damage this time.
Just what you're doing while you're waiting for them to come back up from the
I have
beach.
found a stone.
Well, wait. Let me get them resolved first. So
Resolved.
I think that's great.
3 raises.
timing.
Yes.
She just wants her braids done by the time we get back.
So
I get it.
I take one piece of hair, and then I take another one.
So who has the most amount of raises?
But you need 3 pieces for a braid. Wait, let her finish, man.
Alejandro.
Yeah.
So your opportunity, if you wish to take it, so you have 3, you're able to.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Your opportunity at this point is that you are feeling a lot better about your confidence in the water and in the ocean,
Rested the whole time.
and you're feeling rested. And as you come out, you, interestingly enough, as you're swimming down, you see a couple of clams, and you grab a clam.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool, man.
Couple
Alejandro
cool
grabs
clams.
some
And you
clams.
feel like you look at that clam, you're like, you know what? Clam. Done. Great. And as you stumble to the beach, you're looking at the clam like, well, why did I pick up a clam? Okay. You two.
Okay.
You make it without any consequence if you so choose to do that.
Yes.
All right. And then you'll get back up, stumble onto the beach. You take your knife and pry it open. And look, there's a pearl.
Oh, the instinct
Talk
of a
about your
pirate.
wealth.
Yeah.
So it was an oyster.
Wow, that's
It's a clam.
cool.
Yeah, it's an oyster. Okay. Because oysters have pearls, not
Yeah.
clams.
Clams have pearls
So.
too.
And it's an off color. It's rose.
Oh, a rose.
Not even white. It's
Rose
rose.
pearl.
Neat.
Writing that down. Cool.
You're fancy.
Right.
That is cool.
Right.
Back onto the beach. As you 3 stumble onto the beach.
I'm getting
what-
dressed.
What's that?
I'm getting my clothes.
Getting
on.
dressed.
I am assembling all of the boxes that I found that looked interesting that I had yet to open. So
Got it.
any sort of things that washed up, I sort of watch me sort of tinkering around with them and assembling them
You have
all.
a bunch of boxes
ready to
laid out.
open.
You you got them open.
Yeah.
It's his own little library on the beach, very organizational.
Yep. It's mostly food.
Okay.
It's mostly food. Mostly melons.
Like that.
Yeah.
A lot of lemons.
Scurvy.
Aha.
I have
Oh, and also attached to the one with the lemons, there is something nailed to the side of the coffin. It is a rabbit's foot.
Okay. To the
Yeah.
coffin?
Onto the coffin, the crate.
Oh.
Yeah.
Lucky rabbit's foot.
A lucky rabbit's foot. And you realize that you're recalling the people who are famed of the old gods is that you always put a lucky rabbit's foot on your crate of scurvy lemons, because if you don't, then your scurvy lemons could turn bad and you could get a fever on the high seas. So you notice this is an old superstition that is supposed to.
Of course, it couldn't prevent the ship from crashing. I guess we needed a whole rabbit for that.
It was
Yeah.
attached to the crate, not the ship.
But the crate was in the ship.
And now the crate
Therefore,
is on shore, and
technically-
the ship is not.
Presumably, no one died of a high fever,
Right.
but
When
ship
I
did
when I
crash.
arrive on the
Ooh,
beach
that-
and I'm like wringing my hair out, Alejandro makes an observation for Hope's character. Nice hair, very beautiful.
Thank you very much. It took no time at all. As I'm I found a stone, a warm stone that I'm basking and tanning in, and I've also anything that's ripped or shredded, I kind of just cut off.
Okay.
And so I'm exposing a little bit more, a little bit too much skin, but I'm very comfortable, and
I mean, too much skin. That's up to the judgment
Yes,
of the,
that's right.
of
That's
the
very
viewer. You know,
subjective.
if you're happy, we're happy.
that's right.
There's no need to.
Yes,
Cast
and the
judgment down upon
ribbons are
yourself.
back, and maybe a little bit misplaced hair here or there, but it only adds to the allure of
Or a charm, and maybe you've found like a rock flower, some blooming foliage
Oh, definitely.
on the coast, and braided that in a little bit.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
I'm very decorative, and as Alejandro.
Looking more like a coastal mermaid than you are a shipwreck survivor. So.
Yes, that goes through her head. She just repeats that to herself, very proud of herself. And she sees as you open the clam and you see the thing, she kind of perks up over at that rose-colored pearl.
Alejandro says, "Look at this stuff. Isn't it nice?
Neat.
Neat.
Wouldn't you think his collection's complete?
That would allow it to run."
Just to go, so go.
But I caught on. I did catch on. Yes, beautiful. And that's go. Oh, I see you have a pocket there too. How about that? I was going to offer you one of my pockets to store the beautiful pearl inside.
Why not?
Does everyone have these pockets but me?
Is she talking about her vagina?
I don't think so. I think if she were to be talking about her
Did you see
vagina,
where she put the pearl?
yes, pockets between her boobies.
By the way, I tie the rabbit's foot to like
just making sure
part of
that
my
you-
cloak,
something
part of my robes.
Great.
We all keep things there. That is what we do. Yes.
I don't.
I feel she would have just said vagina. I think that is the type of woman we are dealing with here. She would have just said.
Anything you'd like to share with the class?
No.
Oh,
We're good.
I was
these are
trying
notes.
to say that to Alejandro, not loud enough that the entire rest of the party could hear me. But
But thanks for blowing up the spot.
You're welcome. So you're all reunited on the beach.
Shall we then
You
share
should
what
watch. Yeah, go ahead.
information we have learned?
Oh, yes. I guess. What have you discovered? Yes. What have you?
Firstly, before we do that, what have you remembered? Who are you? Who are these bodies?
Oh, you may call me Stella Montecarsi.
Monte Carsi?
And I. Yes, yes. Very, very close. More Montecarsi.
Monte Carsi.
where
Muy
is
bien.
Stella from?
Versace. I am a courtesan from Versace. Not proud of it, but I do. I'm only a courtesan by need, not because I like it. And I'm. Oh, I'm remembering. I hate Versace, in fact, and I hate other courtesans. They are weak. I'm using my courtesan power to perhaps... Oh, wow, I am very, very ambitious. I want to overthrow the entire society of Osachi.
If you're interested in this duke,
All right.
this is something to note.
Yes, this Duke, the Duke Palfrey, I remember he is a symbol of freedom and independence, and the Queen here in Avalon really respects him, so he might have some advice for me, but I really like him.
Okay.
Guys, can you pause for a sec?
All right. So coming back in, we have all of our 3 party members who just explored the ship, discover what they might as they stumbled upon Hal and Hope, who are currently sitting on the beach as Hal's sorting through a bunch of crates, mumbling to himself like an old man, mumbling as he's sorting through crates. As Hope is sitting like a mermaid, a coastal mermaid, sitting and is well, you tell me.
Well, she's got Alejandro's pearl in her bosom at the moment. Yes, it's good to see you back. I've realized quite a few things. My name is Stella Montecarsi.
Montecarsi.
I'm from Vosaci. I'm a courtesan, but I hate them. Both the Vosaci and the courtesan. They are weak. But I feel that I am, very ambitious. Because I want to take down the entire society of the Vosaci. Which you remember that Duke Palfrey is known for.
Was a character of interest to you? Yes.
Yes, he is a figurehead for independence.
Yes.
And the Queen is on board with it, even. So he's managed a way to fight for the people with the monarchy on his side.
Of interest to your statement, I have discovered that we were on a 5-month journey, of which we had 1 month left. So Duke Palfrey was not our original goal.
Oh, lucky Stella.
No, it was actually way north of here. So,
But still Avalon?
I don't know. The navigation charts show way north in the Trade Sea.
Do you have those navigation problems?
I mean, I can draw them in the sand, what they look like. Like, I didn't bring the paper, but I can, from memory, draw them.
Please.
I did figure out, I think some of you former Wolfpack especially will think this is interesting. This ship we were on was called La Lupine.
Us.
Wait, which one?
La
That
Lupas.
ship.
Ship that crashed.
That just
It's called
crashed.
La Lupine.
That's very clever.
La
La
Lupas.
Lupa.
Lupas.
Lupas.
Oh, La Lupas?
Yeah, Lupas.
Okay. And I mean, the captain's name didn't ring a bell to me. I don't know if it does to any of you guys. Vanya Mortaban?
Vanya Morteban.
As I was his first mate, yes, it does actually ring a bell to me.
That's...
So, all right, then maybe...
Morte is death, by the way.
And Vanya is probably bathroom somewhere.
Bathroom death. It all makes sense.
Some language, somewhere.
In some language, yes.
All right, I'm going to start drawing this in the sand.
All right.
And say, Fateless, if any of this rings a bell to you being the first mate, please.
Does any of this ring the bell to me, being the first mate?
Yeah, it's starting to ring a bell. You guys had a large roundabout trip
This is here.
through the Trade Sea.
Yeah, so Avalon and
And-
Vest. Those are these two.
It's Vestamidjayar, which is the Nordic kind of trade, is that you basically were somewhere in the Trade Sea in between Vestamidjayar and Avalon. You basically were exploring a vast amount of ocean, and you know that you basically just did one giant loop around the Trade Sea, but you don't know why. Don't know why.
Well, we know she is looking for something that will enable freedom for her people.
Here.
I have remembered something too. I am from this very island.
Oh.
My name is Milton Royston, and I'm a priest of the old gods of Avalon. For many years they were outlawed, and now the current queen has allowed them back. And my mission is still hazy, but I am very skilled in medicine and healing, so we should use that to our advantage if need be.
Great.
Was there any other islands north
Vanya? Vanya Montevan? Is that you?
I recall what he looks like. He was so very handsome. He had like a mutton chop beard face and
Yes.
shaved hair. And
The hint of red in his beard.
yes.
Curly on top, perhaps.
Would often wear T-shirts that had very clever designs on them.
Right. Had a baby boy.
He did have a baby boy. Oh, he did. Very cute baby boy.
Cutest baby.
Wow.
Yes. Anyway.
So touching.
Weird because I have not met him, but I feel like I know him. You know, it's very strange. Very very strange.
I feel as though I know him as well. I always have a desire to give him a hug.
The baby boy? Or
Oh, all babies, but this man in particular. Yes, very friendly.
We must discuss what to do going forward. Should we approach the lighthouse keeper, Eduardo?
Oh, he seemed very boring, didn't
I
he?
think his name was Merrick.
Merrick.
Edward was his first name.
Edward Merrick.
Yes.
All right. So continue.
It would seem if we can find the trade record of where the ship is from, the owner of the ship, then we can find where we were coming from and possibly where we were going.
Yes.
Ooh,
Excellent.
I'm on board.
We have the captain's name and we have the name of the ship. This should be enough at any port to find at least some record if there's
I can
shipping conglomerates.
I can wheedle information out of anyone I see fit. And I see a lot of people fit.
How? How do you do that?
Just look at me. I bet I can tell you exactly how much money is in your bank. Hello there. Tell me how much money is in your bank.
I see what you are attempting to do. It is not working on me, but yes, that would
Okay,
probably work.
it would
Yes,
work,
okay,
right?
yes.
It's not
it
working
would
on
very
you, yet
much
she
work.
has your pearl.
Yes, normally there's a lot more perfume involved. There's a lot more perfume
If you want to
involved.
try a couple more times, I'm willing to stand back and watch.
No, I'll do it to you. How much money is in your bank?
I'm not telling.
All right. Yes, normally I have more tools, perfume. These,
We know
you know, you have shields up.
It
know
was
exactly.
very tempting.
That's right.
I
that's
knew it was
right.
coming. It was very tempting.
True.
I saw her quiver.
Like the Faithless pointed out, you do have my pearl, so there was something to that.
That's right. It's still yours.
It's ours.
Okay.
Then yes, I agree. We should find the lighthouse priest and travel
Is he
to
a
the
priest?
town.
He's just a dude in the lighthouse.
Are you like most priests and you just think everyone's a priest?
I thought he said he was a priest of the Church of Avalon.
He is a godly
follower.
man.
He's a follower.
He's
Fine.
He's of the
Good.
church.
He's of the
Perhaps I can
church.
intimidate him into serving the old gods.
Oh my.
Not turning
Priest
his
is
back.
terrifying.
I think you found your purpose. Are you a missionary? I think you are
All
a
must
missionary.
balance must come to the universe.
And your brain's starting to like have a lot of dogma that's just like going in there over and over again.
In any event, he can be quite helpful in getting us to the local
To the
town.
town, to the port, to figure out where the ship came from. Yes, I agree.
Did you guys find anything interesting on the beach?
Look at all these boxes.
And if there is anything that you that you hold dear, I found plenty of places to store them.
Did you change your dress? You are showing more.
Thank you for noticing. I am skilled in the way of altering my dress to suit my needs.
That could be helpful for all of us if we need to go incognito, as it were.
Oh, sure. I could make disguises. Mostly, I will say that my disguises will make you look, let's say, better.
I doubt you could improve upon this.
One more thing of note. This map suggests that our country of origin was Avalon.
So we sailed away and we sailed back, eh?
So the
Possibly.
port we're looking for could be very nearby,
Yes.
potentially.
Then there should be very
Waynesboro.
good information here.
Waynesboro would probably be
Oh,
able to tell us
I would
everything we
love
need
to go to Waynesboro and get an audience with
Shall we go then?
all three.
All right. Quick correction. It looks closer to Carleon than Waynesboro. But
Well, we have to go through there to get to Corleone, so...
so, with that said, you two or all five of you are gonna head up to the rocky side and climb up
Yes.
the cliff side to walk to the lighthouse.
Yes.
Great. So, as you continue to climb the rock face, with the kind of high walls in front of you and the giant expanse of sea behind you and your two cliff sides of rock. You've kind of been inside of a little bit of a bubble since you've woken up. And as you kind of climb up to the top and you crest over the first part of the rocky hillside, you see a vast expanse of green rolling terrain in front of you.
Wow.
And you can see a large cobblestone road leading from one end of the side of the beach all the way down into town. And you can see, because there's hardly any tree cover on this side of the beach, across the hills, you can see Wadesboro, not but probably 5 miles too far down the road.
Yeah.
And you see the lighthouse, presumably another 15, 20-minute walk up the road into it. And you see this giant blue sky with white clouds and this just very ethereal, beautiful, while the gauntlet in the World War II Europe that you were used to, that you saw in the land of the werewolves, you could say, everything was gray-toned and everything was very had sepia kind of tone to it. And on the gauntlet, everything was colorless and damp. This could be farther from a difference of it. Everything is vast and beautiful, and colors are rich, and everything seems to just be laid out before you in a giant expanse. And the lighthouse, as you start to walk towards it down the cobblestone road, you can see a cart and a horse prepared for you out on the side, and you can see he's just sitting there whittling a piece of driftwood, as he kind of sits there. And as you get closer and closer to him, he finally turns to you and goes, "All right, so you got all your gear together then? Let's head over to Mercadian."
Is Merclian on the way to...
We're heading straight into Merclian. Merclian is on its way over to Wadesboro, so...
Perfect. I knew you had brains. I don't care what anyone says you look like.
Please sit up front with you, child. I have many things to discuss of the old gods with you.
Oh, all right. My grandma used to talk about the old gods all the right, but we'll have it'll be the most adventurous part of my year, that's for sure. And with that, we'll leave it for next week.
Real quick, I do want to take one of those cutlasses.
You want to take one of those cutlasses? Great. Guys, make sure if you want, we'd love hearing from you. If you'd like to hop on Twitter and use the hashtag ForeverVerse and let us know how we're doing, if you like this time slot, if you're enjoying the new story that we're putting together. We love hearing from you, the community out there. Also, make sure to tune in tomorrow as episode 2 of Pugmire will finally be dropping, as we'll be spending these weeks catching up to the ForeverVerse, which is what is happening right now. But thank you. We'll see you next week, 4 to 6 p.m. here on Wednesdays. Thank you so much. See you then. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this episode of ForeverVerse. Make sure to like and comment and subscribe, as we'll be releasing episodes on every Thursday on GNS's YouTube, starting with the first episode right here. If you'd like to jump ahead to the current point in our campaign, you can always watch us live on Twitch, Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you want to watch ForeverVerse episodes that are available right now, you can always go to projectalpha.com. They are all there for you. And if you want to watch episodes that we've already released on YouTube, there's this fun little playlist right here. Thanks. Goodbye.